welcome to the Zenith and Balance podcast, a podcast dedicated to exploring a wide range of subjects that inspire and empower individuals. I'm your host, Tammy Vu, and I have a passion for interviewing guests who share their expertise and insights on various topics they are passionate about. In each episode, we engage in a meaningful conversations that not only delve into professional achievement, but also explore the personal journeys of our guests. Our goal is to bring diverse perspectives that can help you reach your peak potential while maintaining a balance in both your personal and professional life. Today, we are thrilled to welcome an exceptional guest, Shirley Liu. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Tammy. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to as a as a highly accomplished life insurance agent, Shirley has successfully built and nurtured a dynamic team by honing her skills in recruitment and leadership. Her dedication to identifying and cultivating resilience has been a key factor in her team's success. So in our conversation, we will discuss harnessing harnessing resilience, creating strong teams together. So my first question to you, Shirley, is given your experience in recruitment, how can you identify resilient traits during the hiring process contribute to building a successful team?
Okay, well, first of all, in order to build a successful team, like you said, you have to identify right away to see whether or not the person has capability to do so. So one of the first traits, to be honest with you, is being able to communicate effectively, getting key points from the person you try to recruit or talk to. Right? So for example, if I met you, Tammy, if I knew something about you, I would identify a key point what your hot button are, right? If I know that you're outgoing, you love to meet people, and you do those kind of things, then definitely to identify the traits, whether or not are you willing to talk and speak. Because like any kind of business, you have to open your mouth. I don't care what it is. You sell yourself every day. Even people that are most shy, you go to work, you still got to show your boss, everybody else, that you have capability, right? That you can get things done, that you're able to communicate. So communication is one of the things really important. You can't be shy about it. You have to be able to talk about it, because if I know immediately you're gonna like not say the word, then that's hard. So first thing to be successful in here is talk to anyone, anybody, and everything. My rule of thumb is usually if you're 3 feet from me, you're done. You sit next to me in an airplane, I would let you know. Because whatever business you're in, whether it's in the network marketing business or in the restaurant business, I don't care. It's about advertising who you are. And don't be a secret agent, basically. That's how I identify you.
Thank you very much, Shirley Liu. So you're absolutely right about that. So what you're saying about identifying the traits, especially resilience or other traits that make you an outgoing person during a recruitment, set the foundations for a robust team. That practice actually help us to select candidates or to select a team who are not only skilled but only are able to navigate challenges effectively. So the next questions I'm gonna ask is, can you share an example of a challenging situation your team faced and how resilient play a role in overcoming it?
Okay. So one of the biggest thing in the business that what we doing, especially in the financial industry and retirement planning, and by the way, if you're in a recruiting company, here's the first thing they say. Oh, you're one of those companies that you go to your family and your friends and you go to your internal network. You've heard of that, right, Tammy? So that's the thing that people always, the connotation bad about network marketing is that I want you to go to my friends and family. So here's the word of advice, guys, out there. Okay, when someone say that to me, I would ask them this question. These are the objection, because the first thing you have to overcome is the objection. So let me ask you a question, Tammy. If you went to a good restaurant and you just like, oh my God, this restaurant's phenomenon. I'm coming back. I don't care. I'm coming back here. or you saw an incredible movies, right? Something that you just loved and all that, or visit a place is unforgettable. Would you tell your family and bestest friend and other people said, "That man, I ate at this restaurant, it was fantastic." Or if you went on vacation on this resort, they say, "Oh my God, you got to go there. It's got to be on your bucket list." Right? Anything you experience, the greatest thing that you want to know is, I want to share that with the people I care, the people I love, the people that I know, the people that I know want the enjoyment. So in my business line of work, when it comes to retirement planning, whatever it is, I love what I do. I love the product. I love what we can do. I love the kind of things it represent. So therefore, the answer is yes. I'm going to tell my brother, my sister, my family, my mom. She's my client. Everybody's my bestest friend. That's why you'd share the information with your family. It's not because I want them as a client. No, I share with them because I want them to know what I have, and I want them to have the kind of things that I have. That's why you talk to the people. So again, learn how to handle objection and tell them that, look, I bring people in, I talk to people, it's because I believe in it.
Thank you very much, Shirley. Shirley, I just want to ask you a question. Do you hear my dog biting his toys in the background? Okay, so you
None.
don't, right? Awesome. Okay, so yeah, because I was just concerned about that. So let's move on to the next not the next questions, but I want to say that I like what you said about that. It's like you have to actually talk to other people. Like if you're facing a challenge, like challenge are actually inevitable or it's inescapable in any team environment. So, um, like you said, it's like for me joining the team, I'm eager um to learn and to actually understand how resilient team can make a significant differences in overcoming challenges. So let's move on to the next questions, which is what strategies do you recommend for fostering resilience within a team to ensure they can adapt to change or setback?
Okay. Whenever the changes or setback that comes a long way, believe it or not, that's if a challenge comes a long way, that's the greatest way for you to grow, right? Just like objection, if you can overcome the objection, you have answered the negativity why somebody don't want to buy, or what's holding them back, or what's that reason, you know. And that's why, believe it or not, I love objection. When the people who join my business, if they're one of the most skeptic, don't believe in it, and they come across with every kind of objection, other stuff, hey, one of the best way to do is you come back, and answer the objection and the kind of things that they have. And one of the greatest thing about this business is that, trying to foster trust. I think trust plays in such an important role in the business, no matter who it is that has it, right? Because if you don't believe in it and you don't have passion about, and you're not walking the walk of the product or owning that stuff, those are the reason why you're not successful. It's because you're not willing to put your skin in the game. If you're not willing to put the skin in the game, who's going to trust you? One thing I love about Tammy is when I go out confidently, my client asks me, "Do you have the kind of things that you're representing and telling me?" Sure, here's all my 10 policy. Which one do you want? Oh, which company you have? Well, which one I just sold you, right? So with that, the client have to see, and sometimes because having my own account, Tammy, if they're so skeptic and I say, you know what, I don't do this for many people, but let me tell you, I'll show you my account. I show you what I just did for my family, for me, because I don't just try to sell your family. My family comes first. And believe me, with that belief, Tammy, out of 10 cases, I went out of 8. And I teach my team the same thing, walk the talk.
I like that. So I like what you said, you walk and you talk. That I mean that strategies actually cultivate resilience. It's actually very important for any successful team to have that. It's like when you talk, you got to show action.
Yes.
So therefore, creating an environment for open communication and support along with promotion and growth mindset, like a
Hmm.
positive mindset can truly be empowering to our team and as well to the leader.
Absolutely. Yep.
So my next question is, how can leaders identify and nurture resilient traits in team members where building a cohesive unit?
I believe in strongly team building, and I believe in the team sink or swim together. I also believe in the more knowledge that you know, the better you become. Tammy, one thing I love about is I hope you come into the business here and you beat the crap out of me or any of my team that excel the number because then I know something's right. I know the system is working. Because an ability to is someone to duplicate you and exceed your expectation and being able to do above beyond, then you know you've done well. Because a team of success, see, what people don't realize in this kind of business, any kind of business, is that if we don't if you don't make money, I don't make money. Simple as that. So therefore, you have to work together. And the other things I believe in cross training. I believe in working with other team. I believe in sharing the knowledge, because you may be a brand new person, but I think there could be some new, fresh idea that you could bring to the table that I never thought about or excel. I believe in open door policy. I believe in getting together in business is like a marriage. If someone's mad at each other for whatever reason, you need to communicate that. Number one. Because once you communicate why you're upset or if there's a certain issue, another, then you clear out a way, then you can move on to next. You can't foster bitterness and those kind of things. Like any family, if I'm mad at you, you're mad at me, then speak your piece and then move on. That's the first thing I think is so important. And the second thing is I think there's got to be a trust, because you have to trust me enough to say that, I won't let you fall, and I think that's so, so important. And number three is that I believe is coachability. You know, your leader wants you to be successful, so you got to have that faith in that person. If you don't have faith, then there's no chance. You know, I'll give you, and it's funny because the other things is that I always love this analogy. Okay, if I were to say to you, Tammy, do you trust me? You said, I trust you. I said, are you sure? So, you ready for this? If I pop this question, here's Tammy. Would you be willing to jump off an airplane with me without a parachute?
Well, it depends.
What's the depends?
It depends if I know you enough to if I know you enough to hold my hands, or if I know you enough to be there for me, then yes, I will jump off the bridge.
Okay, what if I told you I'm not going to hold your hand? You're just going to jump off an airplane. I want to jump first. You're going to jump second. I'm not holding your hand. You're not attached to me without a parachute.
Then absolutely that is a no.
Okay, so you ready? Lesson learned on this one, right? So everyone out there would probably say, nope, I'm not going to do it. But what they need to do is they need to have a further question by an open mind. You did very good, by the way, by asking me, are you going to hold my hand? When I told you jump off an airplane without parachute, I didn't add it that this airplane is parked on the ground. It's not a, you see that? So people always jump to conclusions sometimes, assuming certain stuff when they don't hear the whole story. So if they were to ask further, is this airplane in the air or is it parked on the ground? In this case, it's parked on the ground, right there.
Right. When you said jump off the airplane, I my opinion was that okay, the airplane is up in the sky. I didn't think
That's
that it
right.
was on the ground. Uh Maybe like it's best to say, "Oh, would you like
Eh,
to get off the airplane with me?" Like I mean, that would be more of
It's
the of appropriate word. So what's your opinion about that?
No, no, no. I agree to some extent, but what it is that our business, sometimes when we say when the financial other stuff, immediately sometimes people jump to conclusion. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to do that. Oh, you do life insurance? No, no, no. I don't want to do that. How do you know? I don't do just life insurance. I do retirement planning. I do tax strategy. We do a lot more. We do a lot more than just life insurance. We do 457 plan. We do 43B. We do SEP IRA. We do KEO plan. You see that Roth? Now, did I just do life insurance? And what happens is that people assume I just do life insurance. So they come across to you like, oh, you do life insurance. No. Well, what kind of life insurance? I do all kind. I do term. I do whole life. I do UL. I do you get what I'm saying here, right? So
Mhm.
when people are assuming we just do life insurance, they put us in one little bucket that we know nothing about financial planning. You and I are wealth strategists, and they need to understand that it's above and beyond. Life insurance is a small piece of it, but it's everything else that we do that people overlook. So,
Right. So like you said, it's like having a role model as well as having trust is basically a leadership skills that is a vital role in helping your team to develop resilience.
yeah.
That actually help a team to recognize, well, that trust help team to recognize their strength and providing tailored support, which can lead to me, which can lead to a more unified team that works well together. So that makes me, so let me move on to the next question. So the last question I'm going to ask is, in your experience, what impact does a resilient team culture have on overall performance and employee satisfaction?
I think the very first thing is number one, team working together. I think that's more important than anything else. Okay, team working together. Second thing is product knowledge. You got to feel confidence about the product, what it is that you're doing with a client. Because if you don't feel good about the product knowledge, you're not going to be able to open your mouth, right? And number three is an ability to not be afraid to go out there and communicate and represent what you do, your belief, your stronghold of what it is, right? And I believe the fourth thing important is that, when you talk to people, it's so important that they see your passion of what you believe. When you present a product to a client, it's not about the product, it's how much you believe and your passion towards certain things. That's what people look at and say, wow, she loves this thing, doesn't she? She digs this thing, right? And when they see that your tone carries more weight than the product, believe it or not. Your body language, the kind of thing that they look at, you get excited about, is what sells it more than even the product, you know, your passion and, and the kind of things that if your team, not only that, I think very strongly as Tammy, I would never expect anyone to walk through the fire or test anything else unless I do it first. I believe in getting in the trench with the team. You know, the more I get entrenched with the team, I know I've walked through the mines. I've done that. I know where places been kind of blown up, get patched up and all that. So I would, because of my experience walking through it, I believe that all leaders tell the team, hey, don't do this, do this, do this, because I've done this and it didn't quite well. You know what I mean? So with that being said, and I think the other thing is that, you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith and believe what you do. Believe in yourself. And it's all about, there's a famous quote by Althea Gibson. And I really love this quote because I believe every one of us lived through it and we should do it by it. And it goes like this. I've always wanted to be somebody. If I made it, it's half because I was game enough to take a lot of punishment along the way, and half because there was a lot of people there to help me. I believe in life wholeheartedly on that quote, what you and I have.
I really like that quote, Shirley. And I like what you said about having a team, a resilient team culture on basically on performance and satisfaction, which cannot be understated. So to me, a strong culture just tends to promote not only a better outcome, but
Yeah,
also a more, I would say, engaging satis and satisfaction as well too. So I just want to ask you that
mhm.
one. So that wasn't the last question. So the last question is, what would you like to tell your audience from any community about our topic today?
You know what? I think, from my experience living through it, if you and I don't plan for the future, if you fail to plan, right? then you are in danger of not securing your family future. If anything they can take away today is being able to sit there and take a look at where they are, where do they want to go? Because it's about life, journey that if you, it's so important. I mean, first of all, I appreciate you, the fact that you bring this topic, these kind of things to the audience out there, and you're amazing in every way. You need to know that. And you're making a difference. So in this business, it's about making a difference. And if you can make a difference in people's life, I think that's, I tell you, that's the way to go. And you got what it takes. And I just think that, let's rise together and you can do this.
Absolutely. Team empowerment. Absolutely, ma'am.
Another name for resilience, I believe it's called patience.
Patience. That's right.
The more patient you have, then the more, you know, it's about patience. Resilience is being patient. So I just recommend everybody, yes, having resilience, but more importantly, having the patience, the toughness to be able to stand of everything else.
Sorry about that, Dee.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, I appreciate you honestly, for bringing this out and having on the call. It's exciting. I'm currently in California, but building team in California, Texas, Florida, all the area, different places. And that's where the games begin. And then I would love to see more people join us on that, under your leadership, Tammy.
Thank you. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Zenith and Balance. I want to extend a special thank you to Shirley Liu for sharing her valuable insights and knowledge with us today. Her expertise on resilient and team dynamic has truly inspired us all. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing and leaving a review on YouTube. Join us the next time as we continue to explore the journey of incredible individuals and uncover the secrets to achieving balance and success in all areas of life. Until then, remember to strive for your zenith and maintain your balance.